What's up, guys? Staying on All Sports Center and be going over a college football preview. This is going to be our first one on week 3. It's going to be number 19th ranked Iowa and Iowa State. This is going to be a pretty big game. Obviously, it's a rival one between these two teams. We've seen that in years past. But this game is going to be on Saturday, September 14th, 3 p.m. Central Time. Spread currently says Iowa by 2, so it is expecting it to be close for sure. I mean, that is meant to be. That's very expected there. The FPI is saying Iowa 57%. And Vegas is saying 24-22 to Iowa. And obviously, this is being recorded on the Monday before the game, so we still have several days in between now and when this game is going to be taking place. With that being said, though, these spreads and the FPI could very well change in the next few days. But yeah, these are just what we're looking at to start off with. Now, looking at our stat comparison, though, for this game, we're going to be actually doing a little bit different for this game. Usually, we would give you guys ranks based off of, what the team is ranked in the FBS overall for like total offense, rushing offense, passing offense, etc. But the thing is, though, is that Iowa State has only played one game this season. Because of that, the offensive stats would be very off, and also the defensive stats would be they would be much higher than supposed to be. And that's just because obviously Iowa State's they only have one game worth of stats currently in the book. So yeah, we're going to be doing it a little bit different this way. We're going to be giving you the previous game stats for both of these teams. And for Iowa, that was last week against Rutgers when they shut them out 30-0. Nate Stanley at quarterback, 16 for 28, 236 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had a pretty good day. Obviously, 16 for 28. It could be better, but still, that is a very good ratio. McKay Sargent at running back, 13 attempts, 59 yards. Same thing for Torrin Young. He had 59 yards as well. So the running game looks pretty good right now, except they did not get any touchdowns through that. But Yamir Smith at wide receiver, he's their best receiver this week. 4 receptions, 113 yards, 2 touchdowns. So pretty good day for Smith. But yeah, once again, they did beat Rutgers last week 30-0. They are 2-0 coming into this game. I mean, this is a good looking Iowa team. I mean, they put up 2 very good defensive performances. And also the offense is looking pretty great too. But for Iowa State, on the other hand, they kind of disappointed in week 1. They played Northern Iowa, and it was a much closer one than it should have been. That game went into double overtime, I believe, 29-26. They ended up pulling out the win, but they got kind of lucky in that one. And you should not have that. You should not have that feeling against Northern Iowa. That is for sure. But Brock Purdy at quarterback, 30 for 41, 278 yards, 2 touchdowns. So pretty good day for him. Johnny Lang, 14 attempts, 60 yards. Sheldon Crony, 13 attempts, 56 yards, 1 touchdown. And then Jones at wide receiver, 14 receptions, 126 yards, and no touchdowns. So really, I mean, these teams are looking pretty accurate offensive-wise from last week or from their previous game. I mean, you got 2 running backs doing about 60 yards or so, and you got a good wide receiver doing just over 100. Yeah, Iowa State being at home in this game could make it very interesting, I think. I mean, could we see an upset in this game? I mean, this could very well be one. We've seen Iowa State upset some pretty big teams at home. We've seen that in years past for sure. Yeah, Iowa has allowed 14 points in weeks 1 through 2. They allowed 14 points in week 1 and nothing last week. So obviously Iowa's looking pretty good right now. Iowa State struggled in week 1 once again against Northern Iowa. And so, I mean, with that being said, I mean, Iowa's obviously going to be favored in this game, but once again, it is a road game, and it's going to be it's a rivalry one for sure. We always see this game being very close. Will Iowa State play better? I think Iowa State's going to play much better this week. I mean, it's kind of a bold prediction there. I mean, it's tough to say whether Iowa State's just a blowover team this year or not. But really, I mean, this team has returned a lot of talent. I mean, I think Iowa State still has potential to finish 3rd to 4th in the Big 12 this season. But the thing is, though, is that you got to stay consistent on offense. I mean, this team isn't looking very consistent right now. But yeah, Iowa State definitely, I think, has potential. They just need to use it. How would Iowa win this game? They get up early and they do not let Iowa State hang around. They shut them down on defense pretty early on as well. Iowa State kind of vice versa. If you could stick with Iowa, if you could get off to a pretty good lead, start off the game, that would be fantastic. Get a good lead going down there at the end, and I think Iowa State honestly is a very good chance. I like their chances in this game for sure. And I think Iowa State, I mean, they're just out of the rankings for me. I mean, this team still has a ton of potential. And I really do still believe in this team, even though they had an off week one. I mean, with that being said, I think this is what my prediction is going to be 21-14. I think your halftime score will be. Iowa State's going to actually get up and ahead pretty early on in this game. I think they'll score 1 or 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. And then we're going to end up seeing Iowa State mainly control the majority of this game. I think we could see it go back and forth a little bit, especially in the second half. But I think Iowa State pulls this one off, 34-31. They're going to win it off of a last-minute field goal. It's going to look like it's going to go in overtime. But I think Iowa State pulls it off there in the end, and they pull off a big upset. This is not a very good thing for Iowa if they lose this game. Even though it is non-conference, that is true about this game. But it's still a very big game between both of these teams, with it being a rivalry and stuff. So, I mean, spirits are going to be very high in this game. But Iowa State, I think, comes in and they bounce back from their week one disappointment. They end up blowing up Iowa in week number 3. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts on this game in the comments below. If you disagree with this, which I'm sure many of you guys are going to, I mean, Iowa's very favored in this game. And they have got a right to be. Iowa's looked very good. But I think Iowa State, this is a little bit of a trap game here. I think Iowa State, I mean, no one's really expecting them to do very good right now, especially after their, once again, week one performance. But then again, I think Iowa State, once again, has a lot of talent on their team. And with them being at home, that's kind of what makes it done in the end. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts on this game in the comments below. Give me your score predictions. I'd like to hear what you guys think on those. And also, I'll try to get back to as many of your guys' comments as possible if you have any questions. But yeah, thank you guys all for watching. More Week 3 College Football previews coming soon. Stay tuned for more from All Sports Central.